guys handle the truth?
My life is a reality show for God.
You mentioned a couple of times you almost passed away. When was that?
Well, when
you were younger.
When I was growing up, you know,
Yeah.
I've been shot at. I had a guy put a gun to my head and pull the trigger, and the gun didn't work. It was
Get
jammed.
out.
Yeah, and he killed somebody like a week later with the same gun because it's like old. He probably got an old messed up gun, you know. And thank God it didn't.
How old were you?
I was in the 6th grade.
What?
I grew up in the hood.
Why is someone coming up to you?
We was fighting. He was jumping my cousins. I told you I used to beat up the bullies.
Right.
He was jumping my cousins. I got my people's back, and we was fighting. And he was the man. He lived in the projects right down the street from my house, and he was the man at the age range. You know, he could fight. I was the man. You know what I'm saying? We scrapping, and he put the gun to my head.
But nothing was there.
It didn't work.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been hit by cars like a couple times, like big time. Supposed to been dead. That's why I got this big dent in my head over here. I just ran in the street. This car hit me and it headbutted me, and I jumped right in time so it wouldn't run me over.
You jumped onto the car?
Yeah, I was young. I was like in like 3rd, 4th grade. I was a little bitty guy. And the car was going like 45. Back then, those cars were made out of metal. And you know what I'm saying? It messed me up for a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still here.
Was anyone else in the car with you?
No.
Where were you going?
I was going to my friend Lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
My friend Lunchbox was
And you had a lot of energy drinks, right?
it didn't have nothing to do with it. I had energy drinks like I don't know who even started that whole energy drink thing.
But were you all there?
No, I wasn't.
Where were you?
I don't know. My mind was
Or
out.
was it because of natural things?
It was like, it was spiritual.
Right.
Very spiritual. But humans will call it like psychotic or something.
Right.
But that's what we do. We a lot of times like we old Biblicans, we don't believe in higher power. We don't believe in all this stuff. Like we're very skeptical and stuff like that. So I let them call it whatever they want to call it. I know what happened to me.
So what do you think exactly happened?
I think I saved my friend's life.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I saved my friend's life that day.
What happened?
My friend, he was about to do something that I would have regretted him doing.
He was going to kill himself.
I saved my friend's life that day.
Oh, so you were going to save him, or was this?
Yeah, I was going to him. I wasn't going to let nothing stop me.
Okay.
He told me 3 or 4 months later, after the fact, we was training. He just broke down, cried, and told me like, "Thank you. I'm glad you." He didn't tell me until at first. But he told me, "Thank you. I'm glad."
But you knew he was going to do something.
God told me to get to him.
Really?
Yeah. Like people tell me like, "Oh, God didn't tell you to go and crash those people and do all this stuff like that." I stopped talking to those people. Now, how you gonna tell me what God say? How somebody gonna tell somebody what God tell you to do, what God doesn't tell you to do? Like, for one, God told me to trust Him and that nobody was gonna get hurt, and that I wasn't gonna stay in jail long. I know it. That's why I knew it. Everything that happened, He said it. And that's why I know later I know that it was true that that I wasn't crazy because everything they told me came true. I got out of jail I was on jail for like an hour.
Did you get to him though?
Yeah, I got to him, and I complete my mission. I got to him,
and then the police came.
They was already behind me. I didn't even know, but they was there. They got me as soon as I got to him, and I gave him the message I was supposed to give him.
And what was it?
Just be happy. Don't worry about it. That's the message.
He was going through some stuff.
He was going through some stuff.
We care about our fighters and the guys who are with us, so the whole thing didn't make sense to me. When it went down, I was like, the only thing I thought is he must have taken drugs or something. He must have taken drugs or gotten drunk. I mean, which wasn't his personality. It was baffling. So I jumped on a plane. I was actually at the police station before he was. That's how fast I got there. I live in Nevada. He lives in California. And I got over there, and it ended up, they tested him for drugs. No drugs in his system. No alcohol. And it's basically, Rampage is a religious guy. And after he lost the fight to Forrest Griffin, it was the middle of the summer. All he was doing was drinking energy drinks. He's back. He's normal, and we're happy. We're happy it wasn't drugs, alcohol, or something mentally wrong with him.
I don't do no drugs. Something you guys need to know about me: weed is the only drug I ever tried in my whole life. I've never even tried any other drug. No, never. And I started smoking weed as a kid.
Alcohol choice is what?
Yeah, alcohol. I drink alcohol.
Never
That's
any
a drug.
mushrooms?
Never. I'm totally against drugs. Never
Makes
tried
sense.
it.
This interview was one day before Rampage took the cops on a huge chase in order to save his friend's life.
I hyperextended my elbow really bad where I couldn't even pick my elbow up, and I pulled the hamstring at the same time. It was like over Father's Day weekend, and Shaquille O'Neal doctor, what's his name, Dr. Coker, he came. God bless him. Hey, Dr. Coker, for real, God bless you, everybody you touch, your family. May you be a wealthy and a blessed man for all your days and for eternity. I hope we spend eternity together. You're a blessed man. You're a godsend. That man didn't charge me anything. You guys gonna see a brand new Rampage. I promise you. You guys gonna see a brand new Rampage. But you're gonna love him though. You're gonna love the new Rampage because God made him. You know what I'm saying? God trained me. God's gonna manage me. God's gonna train me. You guys gonna love the new Rampage. And if you don't love the new Rampage, we all know what's wrong with you. You're not of God, and so and it's okay with me. I don't know what's gonna happen, and really, to be honest, I don't care what happened. See, the thing what we don't understand is that, you know what I'm saying, even though God gave us free will, a lot of people don't even know what that means. God gave us free will. He still does his own thing. So whatever the UFC does is okay with me. It's fine with me because I fight for the UFC. I'm an employee. I'm an employee of the UFC, you know.
So whoever
it is, it don't matter. They gonna have to fight the best Rampage they ever seen.
Rampage was right. His next fight, he absolutely destroyed his biggest rival, Vanderlei Silva. Vanderlei, the axe murderer Silva, had brutally knocked Rampage out twice before he finally got his revenge. Rampage said he was in the best shape of his life with no injuries before that fight.
I knew I was going to win because this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm the close to 100% that I ever been. I wish I could fight every fight in this condition the way I'm in.
How good did that feel?
Because you did go to
The Vanderlei fight. How good did that feel to get that win?
That was my favorite one.
That was your favorite one.
Favorite.
stop the favorite.
Yeah, that was the fight that I was waiting because after you got that one back, I was like, God, he's got to be feeling so good about that. Right?
What about Lil
What
Nas
do you
X?
I'm going to tell you why not him, because I didn't like his music video.
Which one?
Oh yeah.
The last one. I'm God's street soldier. I just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the devil thing.
And I don't like
Yeah,
I don't like the devil
That
being
devil
like.
thing was a little much. And the
Yeah.
666 shoes with the blood. in
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I just don't like. I just don't
just
like.
have
that.
it.
They got pulled, right?
Because little
Those
kids,
shoes got
you know,
pulled?
That's the only reason why I never came after 3-6 Mafia, because of their name, because I am God's street soldier.
Oh word.
Memphis came up with that way before
I'ma tell
everybody
you,
else
I'm
in rap
friends-
was
I'm
putting that
friends
shit
with
out
D-
there.
I'm friends with DJ
you're right.
Paul. I like him.
Not
He's a
not
good
an
guy.
actual devil worshiper, great guy.
I asked
But he
him-
was like putting out that kind of lyrical
Yeah,
content.
yeah,
you
you're right
know?
though. I asked him. I said straight up, DJ Paul, are you a devil worshiper? He said, no, man, I'm not with that.
That's their hustle, right? That's
Cause you know,
marketing.
Just imagery,
I'm
you
a
know?
child of
Yeah.
God. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a child of God. I just had like that day, like it was kind of weird. I had like another awakening, and it made me more spiritual. I'm just spiritual. Like have a great relationship with the Most High, the Divine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love my relationship I have with Him, and I don't care what other people religions are. And I just choose. I just choose to leave alone and be more
Right.
spiritual, and it's working out better for me.
Thank you for all the skills that you gave me. Thank you for the blessings that you gave upon Timo Young. Thank you for the best coach in the world. Thank you for the best friends in the world. Thank you for the best teammates. Lord, we're a young team, but we want to learn to do things in your life. Lead us down the right path forever, Lord. I love you. Amen.
This amazing Rampage story reminds me of the famous story about 7-Eleven.
There was a woman who was at a prayer group, and she said, God, I'll do anything for you for the next 30 days. Whatever you speak to me, whatever I think is you, I'm going to go in faith, as long as it's not illegal, unethical, or immoral, because God will never tell you to do those things. So she's heading home. After praying this, she stops at a red light and sees a 7-Eleven. She gets a picture in her mind of herself standing on her head, and she goes, oh, that's a weird thought. And then she has another thought. I thought you said you'd do anything. She recognized it was God. So she went in, she stood on her head, and this employee comes out of the back room screaming her head off and crying. The girl gets up and she's like, what? What's wrong? And the employee says, I was just in the back room praying. God, if you're real, send someone in here to stand on their head, or I'm going to kill myself after work. That woman's life was saved because of God.
I made a video about John Jones selling his soul to the devil. It's 28 minutes long, exclusively on my Patreon. Another great video on the Patreon is 26 minutes long about how the vampires are 100% real.
Suck babies' blood and put it on my face. Okay, just joking, Hollywood.
Sometimes the best hiding place is the one that's in plain sight. If you would like to support my channel, join my Patreon for only $5 for exclusive documentaries you won't find on YouTube. Link will be in the description.
Please subscribe with notifications on.